turn this volume up just a little bit more because the room that I am in is a bit drowning. So I don't know if you all are going to hear me. So you're going to hear a few beeps as I turn the volume up on this broadcast. That was beeps. Well, I'm going to give it maybe 1 or 2 minutes, as I always do, because I know that some people are coming in from work or coming in from various places and trying to get onto the webinar, so I always start like a minute or two after the start time. So I hope all of you are doing well in whatever city and state that you all are in. I hope that the weather is beautiful. Here in Baltimore, Maryland, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and I'm happy, okay? And that's the norm for me. So I'm hoping that all of you out there are just as gracious and happy to just be living and to be able to enjoy such a beautiful day, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. As I said to you all, my name is Nikita McDaniels, and I am from Baltimore, Maryland. And today you are on the Checks and Balance webinar. Sounds strange, I know, but I'm going to get into it, and it's going to all fit together, okay? I'm going to tell you the type of coach that I am, because I am a coach and an investor, and we're going to get into that also. I have my water. I'm letting y'all know if I get thirsty, I'm going to take a swig, okay? Also, I'm a notes gal. I love to write, and as you can see, I have my Lilly Pulitzer notebook, and all of my notes is sitting here, so if I forget something, because I am human, don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my mind, because sometimes I do forget, and I've been known to forget. I live such a carefree life. I don't take a lot of things seriously. It's not necessary. And I want to share this lifestyle with you all so that you can have all that you desire and live life to the fullest, personally and professionally. So, checks and balances. What is this webinar all about? Before I get into that, I want to share some information with you about me. I am a self-adversity coach, okay? And you may think to yourself, what is self-adversity? You know, it has to do something with problems, I'll tell you that. But I work with women who lack confidence and they fear failure in business. And this is also women who are looking to get into their own business, but they really just don't know how to break through that door. And so how do I teach them to build confidence and to be fearless in their journey? What I do is I teach them self-mastery skills, right? And you're thinking self-mastery skills. Well, these self-mastery skills that I teach women, you know, they're able to solve problems and they're able to move through fearful situations and come out gracefully, right? Because as you all know that we will always have problems in life. You cannot get around that. Sometimes the problem is out of your control. Sometimes. But majority of the time, a lot of what we go through is what we bring on in regards to the choices that we make for ourselves, for other people, and sometimes we don't make the choice at all. And not making a choice is also making a choice, right? So these problem-solving skills, or this self-mastery art that I teach you, it will show you how to go into a situation and respond instead of reacting. The benefits of that is you won't intensify the situation or the problem, because you all know that we can make a problem worse. And if you don't know, I'm telling you, you can, because I've made many of them more than what they had to be. And I'm just being honest with you, right? And so once I learned not to do that, it is really a skill that can be done, but it's one that's learned through repetition, and it's one that's learned through action, okay? When you learn this self-mastery skill, you'll never, ever, ever have to measure yourself with another woman in business, out of business again. Because I'm going to say this. When you measure yourself against others, you decrease your value. When you know who you are, when you're confident about yourself, your value skyrockets, right? And so in self-mastery, I teach you how to build that value and command what you want, right? The name of my company is Failure to Fabulous Real Lifestyle Coaching. And a lot of people in this industry, as there are a lot of different coaches, you got lifestyle coaches, you got financial coaches, business coaches, you have so many different coaches. This industry is very, very saturated. I decided to do adversity coaching because of my background. I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. 8 years prior to me going self-employed, I did law enforcement in Baltimore City. And so I work with a ton of adverse situations. Let me tell you, I did it wrong before I did it right. Not to mention, in school, before I got to be an adult, I was always considered as the troublemaker. I was always considered as the one starting something. My teacher always told me to shut up. And if you all are pushing 40, you know that in class or in school back then, they gave out these little small slips of paper called deficiencies. Now, I don't know what you did with yours, but let me tell you something. I regretted bringing mine home to my mother, so I used to sign mine myself and give it back to the teacher, right? So I used to always be in a ball of confusion, and this followed me up through my teens, and it began to dissipate when I was probably in my early 20s. But even in my early 20s, I was left torn. People say scorn, I was left torn. There were some bridges that weren't connecting. And so I began to live a life of fantasy, pretty much, until one day I was stopped in my tracks. I really was stopped in my tracks. And then it was at that point in time that I had to start making decisions. It wasn't me anymore. I began to have children. I had children at an early age, so where most of my counterparts were just having a family, I'd already started having kids, and so I was bringing them up in a ball of confusion. So it was so important for me to get myself together, and here I am, 8 years transition from being in somebody's employee. 8 years from transitioning, being in a bunch of negative situations to being in primarily positive situations. 8 years transitioning, living the lifestyle that I desire and creating the opportunities that I want, that benefit me. And I don't have to dance to another person's tune, even though I like to dance. I ain't telling no lies, y'all. I can cut a rug. That about me has not changed. All right, I'm playing. I'm playing. So my coaching services is really for that woman who's in business and don't know how to sustain her business, who's in business and really having a rough time putting it all together, balancing her lifestyle as well as her career, okay, with children. And then very few women, you know, don't have kids, but for the most part, any responsibility that you are attached to before you start the business, you still have to learn how to juggle the business and those responsibilities, right? I teach that because that's what I do great. That ain't what I do good. Oh yeah, I said the word ain't. And I said y'all, and I'll say a couple of other words that's not in the dictionary. And I might even curse every now and again. So I'm just warning everyone who's new and haven't been on a webinar with me before that I'm all the way live. But the information that I give you can change your life. So as my coach told me, listen to the message. Don't pay too much attention to the presentation or the presenter. Listen to the message because the message is great value and you can definitely apply it to your life. Not 5 years, not 2 months, but now, okay? But as I was saying, I am great at what I do. And that's what attracts people to me, because they're trying to figure out, how is she able to do this? How is she able? I have 3 businesses. One of those businesses I just gifted to my daughter, who is 16 years old. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I've nurtured this business ever since I probably was about 20, 25. My daughter has taken it over, and she's 16, and she's watched me from a very young age, and I instill in my kids often, we don't do jobs in this house. That doesn't mean I'm against having a job, and I'll share with you in this webinar of why I feel the way I feel. Why this webinar is even called Checks and Balances. It'll all come together. I am a mother of 4 kids, 4 beautiful children. My son is 23. My daughter is 16. My son is 5, and I have another son that's 1. You see me squinching my eyes like I really don't know? I got too many to count, y'all. But let me tell you, motherhood is so beautiful, and then there is a other side that can be so stressful, right? Having 2 of my children while I was growing up, I started having kids at 16, graduated from school, finished 2 years worth of college. With those 2 babies, I was exhausted, needless to say. The stresses around doing all of that and raising children, and not to mention, raising children don't come with a manual. So a lot of things that you're doing is trial and error. It's failing before you succeed. And so I say that to tell you, I've had my fair shares of failing. I have failed so much. It is sometimes magical to believe or to even think that I'm sitting in front of you, the woman that I am, and all of the greatness that I've accomplished. If I can do it, you can do it too. As you begin to know me, as you begin to become a part of my Fearless Network, you begin to know some things about me that is going to make you say, It is going to make you think, is all that she's saying true? Can this possibly be? Well, there are people who are in my network who have been close to me, family members, friends, been close to me, and been through these journeys with me. And they too congratulate me all the time on how far I've came, right? So I have a passion about what it is I'm doing in my community. I have a passion about my outreach globally of what I'm doing with women who are not even in Maryland, but women who are in different states. I got a passion for this. So as I joke and smile and laugh and cut, all kinds of foolishness while I'm doing my webinars, I'm comfortable. I'm in my element. I'm doing what I do great. But don't think for a minute that I'm not serious about what I am doing, because it's not about what you may think it is. It's all about empowerment. That's what it's about. And that I want to extend my hand, my knowledge, and my skills and my gifts to other women so that they can empower other women. All right? So, where are we? All right. So with 4 kids, 3 businesses, now 2, Deuce is the 1. See you. I mean, I'm still the financial partner, and I'm still on the back end, so I still got to be in there helping her because she has lots to learn at 16 years old, but I'm so proud of her. By the way, my daughter's name is Erica. My oldest is Sean, and then I have 2 sons, Jamal and Jermon. Okay? So you would think that I probably live a very stressful lifestyle, or I do a lot of juggling. I used to. I don't do a lot of juggling now. In actuality, I work about 9 days a month. I want y'all to take that in a little bit. I'm going to take a swig of this water. Swish it around a bit. Come back to reality. I work 9 days a month. 4 days at one office that's on one side of town and 5 days at another office that's on another side of town. We have about 30, 31 days in a month, so that leaves me with about 20 days to do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, who I want to do it with. And a lot of people is looking for that type of freedom, right? But before I got to this point, it wasn't so freeing. And believe it or not, more people have a lot of free times on their hand than they think that they do. It's just really how they utilize their time. And then some people just can't make it happen. They can't seem to find the time. But I literally work 9 days out of the week, which is about 2 days a week. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 days a week, and then 1 week, which is probably the last week, I do 3. So 9 days a month. In 9 days a month, I make over 6 figures a year. Okay? If you want to tally that up in months, which I sat here and I done right before the webinar, because a lot of times I hand this stuff over to my accountant and I let it go that way, go left, right? Because I don't like numbers. I had to learn money when I got in business for myself, but I'm being honest with you, I don't like numbers. So I have an accountant and I give the numbers to her. I pay her well to do that. But if you want to do a monthly scale, on average, anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 a month, right? If it's a bad month, it could be anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. Now those numbers may be small or big, or you may not even take consideration in the numbers at all. But let me explain to you that those numbers represent 2 or more people's income in one household. This is the amount that I'm bringing in my household, okay? I didn't mention to you all, I'm not married. I am a single mother with 4 children, all right? And so that is significant amount of income. I mean, with that income, you can do so much, right? And I thought that at one time that I could do so much with that income. But what I realized is when your mindset, when your goals are not in order, when you don't know exactly where you want to be, you're all over the place, I don't care how much amount of money you make, you will never see a penny of it. Because you'll do a lot of different impulsive purchases. You'll do a lot of buying stuff you don't need. You'll do a lot of unnecessary spending just because you're not keeping track of a lot of this stuff. And so it still appears that you don't have enough. And majority of the women in this country walk around saying what they don't have. It's like a mantra. Oh, girl, I ain't got it. I'm broke. Woo! I can't wait till I get another job. That is buffoonery. That's stuff that I don't even listen to, right? Not that I'm better. I think better. I think greater. That makes me valuable, all right? I've been the same place as some of these women then. I made the choice not to be. And now I'm making the choice to not speak in that way. Even if it was that way, I still wouldn't speak in that way, right? So, checks and balances, the title of this webinar, it really goes into the money piece just a tad bit, which we're getting ready to get into right now. I've given you some information about me and my background. I've given you what I do with the women that I work with. And so now I really want to get into checking the time. And now I really want to get into the actual webinar and what it's about. We're about 20 minutes in, so we have more than enough time. I stress to people to write their own checks, right? And this may sound so crazy. Even the monthly income that I just shared with you, the roundabout ranges from the top to the lower end of that monthly income spectrum seems unimaginable, right? It's true. At one time, I really thought that I couldn't make that kind of money. I mean, I never believed that I could make that kind of money. I worked a job making anywhere, I guess, starting 30-something thousand. I think I left at $40,000 or $50,000 every month, bringing home $1,400, $1,500 a month. I'm sorry, every 2 weeks after taxes. I had to pay rent. I had to pay for my car. I had to pay insurance. I had to pay utilities. I had 2 children, remember, at that time. So how far do you think $1,500 is going to go when you're a mom, a single mom with 2 children? Some of you are in that situation right now, and you can do the math better than me, because that was almost 10 years ago or 11, 12 years ago of my life. So you would know better than what I know, okay? So there are 3 reasons that I could think of right off the top as to why I constantly preach to women to create their own paycheck. I don't even like to say the word paycheck. To write your own check. 3 reasons. The first reason is, you all may hear some noise in the background, just a tad bit, because I'm not in my home alone, so it's not going to be a huge disturbance. But the first reason why I preach to women to create their own or write their own checks is because, number 1, tax write-off, right? The tax write-off for people who are in business is phenomenal, right? Some of us have tax write-offs because we have children, right? And when those children get 18, they're no longer a tax write-off for you. You can't use them as a dependent. And I say tax write-off, but you can't use them as a dependent no more, okay? So you have to find another means to keep Uncle Sam from constantly taxing you, all right? Secondly is time freedom. How much time can you create? Excuse me, Dad, I'm on the air.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you guys. That's my daddy. I love him, y'all. All right, so secondly, time freedom, right? When you have a boss, really, how much freedom do you have? You really don't have a lot, because you're on their time, right? They call it your time. You're on the clock, but really you're on their time. So you have to do what they tell you to do, or what your job description entails you to do, right? So you can't have time freedom when you're not creating your own checks, because either 2 things is going to happen. You're either on the clock and you're getting paid a certain amount and you don't have the time, or you don't have a clock, you ain't got no time, and you ain't doing nothing to make no money or create no opportunities for yourself. So you got to find which one you want to be on, and this is really a choice that you have to make for yourself, right? Nobody can make this choice for you. And then the third thing is your reach, right? You can create opportunities for other people when you write your own checks. People like to say you're a boss. I never say I'm a boss. I'm a leader, because I believe that bosses dictate to people what they want done, not necessarily beneficial for people. Leaders, what they do is they create a tribe, and then their energy empowers the tribe, so the tribe can go out there and create more leaders. This is what I was talking to you about earlier as to why I am passionate about what I am doing and why it is important along in their journey, but they're still on the course of where I'm going, right? It's important that I keep that momentum and that ambition. That's how I keep that ambition and momentum. So those 3 things, businesses are great tax write-offs, tax shelters, whatever you want to call it. Time freedom, you can do what you want to do and make your own paycheck doing it, right? You can create opportunities for other people and be in a leader position, which makes you highly valuable and makes your reach greater, right? You don't have to be, I don't have to be in San Diego to have clients in San Diego. I don't have to be in Nevada to have clients in Nevada. But my influence and my leadership still extends to different areas in Maryland because I have a tribe and a platform that follows me because of what I am inspiring them to do. What is it that I'm doing that makes them feel like they're capable, they're capable of anything, that the opportunities are endless, right? Because I build confidence in women and I help them to become fearless, right? And I want you all to really listen to this. I don't help women to become fear-free because fear will always be there. In actuality, when I was in law enforcement, fear kept me safe. Fear allowed me to go home at night, right? Because fear gives you one of them feelings that creeps up beside you, right? And it's something to tell you, look, for real though, get out of Dodge. Don't go that direction. Go somewhere else. That's what fear does. So it's a mechanism that we need. But what you need to do is realize it's a part of us, and you need to figure out how to work with it, how to work through it. And so the skills and the different activities that I teach women shows them how to do that. Literally, I can sit in this chair and bring on fearful situations in my life. I've had that many experiences, of course, being a law enforcement officer. But beyond that, I've taught myself how to feel the fear and still keep moving. That sickness you feel in your stomach, the hairs that crawl up your back, the clamminess of your paw. I said your paws, good Lord. Am I thinking of my Nala? My dog passed away a few years ago. But I'm sorry, your palms of your hand, the moistness of your palms, the shakiness of your legs. I have learned, I have mastered to deal with all of that. And when I'm going into fearful situations, all that stuff still happens. But guess what? I'm looking at fear from the front or from behind. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'll be in front of you like, if I got the stumble, stutter, I'm going to get what I got to say out. And guess what? You're going to hear me whether I'm scared or not. And if I make a mistake, I'm going to apologize and I'm going to keep on going. So that's what I'm here. I'm here to create women who are empowered, women who are confident, and women who are fearless. When you have those three components, you can do anything. This child sitting, I'm sitting. Y'all see my raggedy chair? Look at this chair. I need a new chair. You can't possibly see the feet of the, oh yeah, that goes a good picture of it. Woo, child. This woman sitting here in front of you come from not a wealthy family. Grew up in the projects. And able to do the things that I'm doing is astonishing to me. I have to pinch myself sometimes to make sure this stuff is just it's just real, right? So if I can go through everything that I've went through and still come out a shiny penny, so can you, right? And the penny is just something I'm just throwing out there because my value is far more than pennies, honey, let me tell you. So the shiny penny is just something to say. It's not my value, right? So back to the checks and balances. So that those three things is why I press the issue in writing your own checks. Tax write-off, time freedom, and the ability to create opportunities for yourself and other people, right? That will fuel something inside of you and make you feel so damn good about yourself that you'll think you're King Kong beating on your chest, right? But in the whole spectrum of checks and balances, there comes another thing when you are dealing with the tax write-off portion. You're classified into three categories: lower class, middle class, and upper class. And I'm going to say to you all, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial coach. I am talking to you purely from my own income experiences. My mentor, I have 3. I have a spiritual mentor, I have a business mentor, and I have a financial advisor, all right? And I also read and learn for myself. I'm constantly self-developing, and I'm growing every day. So I'm saying all of this to you from my own experience. But you have a lower, you have a middle, and you have an upper class, right? And so the lower class, the less fortunate, they can't pay in the taxes because they don't have it, right? The upper class, which some people like to call rich or wealthy, they pay into taxes, but they don't pay the most taxes, right? The middle class, the person that works every day, that goes 9 and comes home 5 and gets up the next morning and do it again with probably 1 or 2 days off if they're not offered overtime or their bills is not behind, right? That person. They pay the most taxes. And we all have that saying, the rich get rich while the poor get poor. That's a saying that I heard and I grew up with, right? But that's a saying that is not true. And when I learned about money and when I became a woman in business, I don't ever use that cliche anymore. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of cliches that I don't use, right? Money is the root of all evil. Not true at all, right? Some of them people who don't have no money, they evil. But it's not the root of all evil, right? So those cliches, if you hold on to them, you're closed. If you let them go, you'll open up and you'll begin to learn new information. Now, this is not saying you need this information, but if you learn it, you can apply it to your life. You keep what you can use and you let the other stuff go, right? But you're open, right? And that's what I want you to be for this webinar, open. So the middle class is paying the more taxes, but the upper class, the rich, the wealthy, whatever you want to call them, they put their money in vehicles. So it looks like they stay wealthy. It looks like they're not paying into nothing. But in actuality, they are paying. It's just that their money is in a filter. I mean, it's systematically growing over time. They're putting their money into avenues or vehicles that's shooting them out double or triple returns. You got 3 different kinds of incomes, and I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this webinar is about, but it's residual, passive, and linear. So they found a way to put their money in these different systems that crank them out money all the time. That's where you get the making money in your sleep from, right? But the middle class, the people who work the hardest, they don't have these systems. They have one means of income, and that is a J-O-B, right? And so they're taxed for everything. Your trash that is taken from your backyard or your front lawn, the water that you drink in your house, the streets that's clean, not even your street, everybody's street, the firefighters in your state, the police in your state, any government state worker, your taxes pays for all of that. The unions, you're not even in a union, you don't benefit from a union, your taxes pay for all of that. The government has a plan, and their plan is made prior to you working, right? I'm getting ready to drop some knowledge on you, so I want you to hear this. The plan is made before you even start working. So they give a lot of stimulus and business loans to small businesses because they need businesses to hire people, so that the packages that they pay their employees, the pensions, the union funds, the attorneys when something goes wrong, the health benefits, they need that money to come from somewhere. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the middle class. That's where most of the people who are watching this video is sitting, in that middle class. Or you straddling the fence from the lower to the middle, right? And then it's that very small portion who is just wealthy because maybe it was passed on or something to that nature and don't know how to utilize their money. But if you get what I'm saying, the people who are taxed the most, the people who are stressed the most, the people who don't have the lifestyle they're desired to have is the middle class. And it's all because your sweat, your hard work is being leveraged by somebody else who's sitting on the beach right now. And they're saying to you what you can and what you can't do. They're telling you when you can't take off, but they take off whenever they want. And this is how the government functions, right? So they got to give out the small business loans so the business can hire employees, and the employees can work, and they can be accounted for, and they can pay taxes along with the business owner. But the business owner gets a nice chunk of change back if he is running his business properly and can write off all the expenses. All right? So that chunk of change that you have, that's your check. That's a check that you wrote for yourself. That's the check I'm talking about, right? And you ain't got to wait for it at the end of the year. You can write this check whenever you want to. But that's just one of the checks that you're going to get when you go in business for yourself. You're going to get that income tax. You're going to get that check from your clients, whatever it is you're servicing them every time they come to you. You set the bar for that. You don't let an employee slap a pay rate on a title and say that's what she's worth. I know some people who are in prestigious positions, and I'm going to use this for an example. People say we pay doctors too much when we should be paying the farmers, right? Because doctors prescribe us any medicine that we can any medicine that we can take for all our ailments, right? But this is a billion-dollar business, and they're getting people hooked on all kinds of foolishness, right? When a lot of times, a lot of what you can heal, your body can heal itself, and you can also heal a lot of that by eating properly. I'm going to just give you a tad bit of what I'm experiencing right now. I have been on a juice and raw vegan fast for the last 3 days and 4 nights. I'm telling you right now, I have experienced a lot. This is not the platform for it, so I'm not going to go into it. Clarity has been unimaginable. We've all had adversities. One of my adversities have been weight for the longest time. I put on a lot and take it off, put on a lot and take it off. Well, I'm 40 next year, and taking it off ain't that darn easy, right? So I'm really thinking about my health, and not to mention I got 4 beautiful kids and I want to see grow up, right? And I want to see their kids and their kids if I can. So taking care of my body is starting to be very important for me. And so I've been doing this juice and raw vegetable cleansing detox because I'm transitioning my diet to veganism, right? I don't know if I can do raw continuously because it's a bit of a struggle. Honey, my mouth is dry, I got cotton mouth, that's why I need my water. Going to the bathroom, oh Lord, I can't even count how many times I'm in the bathroom, right? And, having the headaches and the moodiness, but guess what? I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up, and I'm dealing with it. And when I'm going through something, I'm writing, because the beauty in all of this is my skin is fantastic, right? My mind is empty. I can let things in. I'm not holding on to anything from yesterday. I can think clear of what it is I need to do. So that's the juicing and cleansing. I just wanted to throw that all out there to you. But the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. That's a poor-ass statement. So leave it wherever you got it from, okay? Don't even use it anymore. So that big chunk of money that you get, or however you get your money, you want to put it in your pocket, right? But the problem is that you can write your own checks, but you don't have a means about money. You don't know about money. A lot of us get into business, and if we happen to strike it big in business, we wind up getting ourselves into adversities because we don't know about our money. We don't know about the dollar. And so that money that's in our pocket has a hole in it. And we're buying stuff we don't need to be buying. We're doing things we don't need to be doing. We're buying stuff for our business that look good, but we're not even doing that great, right? And so you can't keep your money in your pocket. You got to do something with it, right? So you begin to invest it, whether you are the upper class, the upper crust, the rich, the wealthy. You begin to do things like they do so that you can be in that spot. Because there is a spot for all of us. You got to realize this, understand it, and most importantly, you got to believe it. There's a spot for all of us. So when you're writing your checks, you also need to know what vehicles will withstand the ink on your checks, right? You have to know where you're going to put them, because if it stays in your pocket, it will get a hole and it will be gone. And not to mention, sometimes we get so good at saving that we just want to save and afraid to spend. I've been in that situation before. But know this, your money makes no money in the banks. When I was a child, we used to get savings bonds. My father bought me a ton of them. And when I used to put them saving bonds in the bank, they used to get interest on the bonds, right? The bank is charging you now to put your money in the bank. How simple is that, right? So you got to really learn the value of a dollar. And it's not going to make you more dollars by staying in your pocket, right? This webinar is not about a job, right? It really is about you. It's about you and your abilities to be better, to do better, and to grow and have a better lifestyle. That's what this webinar is about. And the whole thing about writing your checks is for you to get in business for yourself. It may not be this huge business. It may be a small hobby, but it's something that you can use to make more money. One paycheck is not going to get it. I don't care what commercial you see on TV. I don't care what they tell you. You're never going to get wealthy on one paycheck. It's not enough. It's designed that way. You love your job, stay there. But at least save something on the side so you can reinvest it into something else. This is not about you quitting your job. Don't talk about jobs to me, because I don't like them. Work them long enough and I'll never work one again. And I can say never, because people will say, you can't say never. Yes, I can. I don't play that game. All right, I believe in me, so I'm saying never, right? So it's not about, you having to leave your job. If you like it, stay there. I just want to give you another means of having the best life that you can have. Your kids deserve it. You deserve it, right? And then creating an income for yourself, living a lifestyle that you desire. That right there, to me, seems like balance. I don't know about anybody else, but it seems like balance. And really, is there really a balancing act when you think about life? Can you really balance it? You don't even know what's coming your way sometimes. So can you really balance it? Let me tell you where the balancing act comes in place, and we're going to be done shortly. The balancing act comes in you. Governing yourself, right? Balancing the who that you are so that you can be available, so that you can be passionate, so that you can be present in all that you are doing. It's so many of us doing so many things. Oh yeah, I got a business. Look at here. I'm going to show y'all something. Look at here. I got a business card. These are my new cards. Right? You can't really see the words on them, but these are my business cards, right? And if I talk to somebody and, say they seem interested, or they ask me what I do and I tell them what I do, these cards have on the front of them, plan your life. Let's see if you can see that. Plan your life. Journal. Decide to change. Set your intentions. Take actions. I believe in what I do. Everything that I do is embodied by what I believe, even down to the business cards, right? I don't need no huge business card, but people get these business cards, I'm in business. They don't even believe in it themselves. They just doing it because somebody else is doing it. I did it, so I know, right? You go to all these networking parties. I don't even call them networking parties, they dating parties. People want to meet you because they want to date you, right? You meet all these people, they hand you all your business cards, you hand them all your business card, and you never call one of them cards at all. They never call you. I don't even network no more. If I'm going to do something that's going to impact the community, I volunteer. I speak at speaking engagements, right? I work with people one-on-one, and I'm shortly going into working just with groups, right? Because I like time freedom, and one-on-one don't always give you time freedom. But this is my choice, right? So my thing is that when you claim to be in business, your business success really and truly is based off of your own self-mastery. It's based off of how you feel about yourself. What are you doing to yourself, right? And as women, we've been taught to be selfless. And I'm going to say on this video that you need to be selfish some point in time. Not that you shouldn't think about other people. What I'm saying is that if you're not together, who can you help? Who can you create opportunities for? Nobody. You got to get you in order. You got to get you in check. Write your checks and then get yourself in check. Or reverse that thing. Get yourself in check and start writing your checks. And then you can be all you can be for whoever you need to be. But you got to be there for yourself first and foremost, right? There is a real such thing as checks and balance. I didn't just get this name out of the sky. It really is the way that the government governs itself. Checks and balances are in place so that the government don't get too powerful, right? With all the money and taxes, all your money, all your taxes, they get a little bit of mine. I ain't going to tell you where all my secrets are, not on this platform, but I'll give you an opportunity to get those secrets. But they got so much money, right, that is not theirs, that's being allocated in all these different places, checks and balances in place so that they don't get too powerful, right? And we become a dictatorship or something like another country. I'm asking you today, what is standing in your way from being powerful, right? And we are almost closing. What is in your way or standing in your way of being powerful? If you never asked yourself that question, I want you to ask yourself right now, what is standing in my way of being powerful? I got something called the 4 F's, right? And I told y'all I cuss. I'm working on that. So I'm not happy about that, but that's how I grew up, and so I picked up the habit, and like I said, I'm working on it. The 4 F's. I'm going to drop some F-bombs on your ass, okay? The first one is finance. The second one is family. The next one is friends. The last one is foes. What is standing in your way of being empowered? Is it your finances? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Or is it your foes? Your finances. Your finances keeping you from saying yes to opportunities. It's not your finances. It's your confidence. Right? Because when I was fearful, living in a world of fear, I would always turn down things because I didn't have it in my immediate grasp. Oh, I'm not going to get that because I don't have it, you know? I tried my damnedest not to think that way, but there were times that I said it. Next. Now, today, I didn't mean to say next, but now, today, I never look at anything as if I don't have it. Absolutely not. Never. My confidence is so strong that if I can't foresee something in my immediate view, I know that I will get it. I have experienced the teabag effect, and it's time that you all experience too. You might ask yourself, what's the teabag effect? You know? The teabag effect is get your ass in some hot water and you will begin to add flavor to your life, right? You'll begin to take action, right? But it shouldn't take us as graceful women, as women of confidence, to always get ourselves in some hot water for us to make a move. But that is the teabag effect, right? So if your finances is holding you back, it ain't your finances, it's your confidence, right? Family. Is your family holding you back? Are you afraid that if you take off and do what you want to do, you won't have the love and support from your family? Because a lot of times family will tell you that don't sound good. That you shouldn't do that. But they're speaking from their own fears. Don't listen to them. You can still love them. But you're not them and they're not you, and you know what's best for you and your family. So you got to pursue your journey with your own discretion. And you can still love them, but hell, love some of them from a distance, because I got distant cousins, distant aunts, distant uncles. And I don't have distant parents if they didn't support me. I'm just being totally real with you all. Nobody is stopping me, okay? Friends, are you looking for acceptance? Well, let me go back. So if your family is holding you back, it ain't your family. It's the loss of the love from your family, right? Friends, are you looking for acceptance, right? Do you need that at a boy, at a girl? You need to know that you're okay. You need to know you got somebody to fall back on. You're afraid to be alone, right? It ain't your friends. You're afraid to be alone. And I'm going to tell you, on this journey, on this walk, you know when you get into the sweet spot when you're by yourself. Because as you're traveling, friends going to drop off like flies. They're going to drop off like flies. They're not going to, everybody, not some of them, but everybody's not going to hang in there with you. They're just not. So you have to think to yourself that there is a chance that you may be doing this journey on your own. But once you get to that sweet spot, you're going to look back and say, it was all worth it, right? And then the final F-bomb is foes. Are you afraid? Are you afraid of what they will say? Are you afraid of what they're saying about you now? Because the truth of the matter is, people are going to talk whether they know you or they don't. And I was told two things about people talking about me. Mind your business. Two things, right? That's one of them. If it ain't said to you, mind your business. And secondly, I lost my train of thought. And secondly, if they don't know you personally, don't take it personally. Move on. Right? Foes going to be foes. They're going to talk about what they see and what they don't. They want to see how weak you are, or they want to find your weak spot. Don't give in to it, right? You're stronger, you're better, you're wiser than all of that, okay? So the 4 F-bombs, finances, family, friends, and foes, should not hold you back. You got to make a move. If you stay where you are, you're going to continue to get what you get. If you do not make a move, you're going to stay where you are, continue getting what you get. If you do not make a move, you're going to stay where you are and continue to get what you get. I said that 3 times because some people think, oh, I can listen to a few tapes, or I can listen to, or I can look at a couple of her Facebook posts. I'm telling you the what. You need to know how. How am I doing this? That's what you invested in yourself for. Figuring out how to do what it is you want to do. How to create your own checks and balance a lifestyle between personal and professional fulfillment, right? You can have any one of these 4 things, but most women have a combination of these 4 things. We've been taught to survive. Most of us have not been taught to thrive. That's something you have to learn how, there's the how again, you have to learn how to do, right? I want to give you an opportunity to discover a new you. I want to give you an opportunity. Oh, we on good time. We actually gonna finish up early. I want to give you an opportunity to dig in yourself in a way that you become valuable. I don't know how you've been thinking about yourself up to this point, but I can tell you that if you are anything like I was, that it's not good. And most women isolate themselves. They don't go anywhere. They don't do anything. They go home. They go to work. They go with their kids a couple places. But that's life for them. That does not have to be life for you. You can travel. You can splurge on yourself. You can take your kids out. You can take somebody else's kids out who's less fortunate than you and your family. You can do charity work. You can volunteer for different places in your community, right? You can do all of this and still create a lifestyle and an income for yourself with a beautiful outlook. But you can only do that if you learn the secrets, the steps, the system to doing that. And everybody is different. So where one program might work for somebody, it may not work for you. So I am offering you a one-on-one conversation with me. And as I spoke to you earlier, I won't be doing a lot of one-on-ones going into our 2016th year. And we are already in July. August, September, October, November, December. We're 5 months into another year. Are you going to go into another year the same you, the same problems, not having any money, living in your mama's basement, not having a car, house full of clothes? I mean, anything that can occur in a person's life. And guess what? All of that was me. That's why I say it so fluently, right? Are you going to go into 2016 the same way you are in 2015? I want you to go to my website, which is Failure to Fabulous. The number 2. Failure and fabulous is spelled just the way that it's spelled in the dictionary. FailureToFabulous.com. I want you to go on my website, and on the home page, I want you to click on my comfy couch, right? That's the couch in my office. I want you and I to have a conversation. And when you click that scheduling link, it will give you some days in which I am available and times. I want you to secure one of those days and times. You can secure that conversation. Your job is not secure. That income that you're receiving right now that's barely making it is not secure. I want to give you an opportunity that you're going to create some security in your life. And when you call me and when you schedule that conversation, there's going to be an application because I want to know some things about you. I want to make sure that this one-on-one, because I'm not doing them for long, is tailored for you and you get exactly what you need. Okay? So I'm going to do my best so that you can be your best. And I want you to take this seriously. Take this opportunity to make a decision to change your life, not temporarily, but for good, right? And when you get on the call with me, I will also give you some information in regards to my 4-week mini program that's going to be in a Facebook classroom on checks and balances for the beginning and the person who's already in business. We're going to give you a whole outlook as to yourself and how you relate in business. I will be having different speakers that is going to be in this classroom. I'm going to teach solely on you. They're going to teach on the other different elements of starting a business. So you're going to get full service. You can't miss this, especially if you're in business and your business isn't doing well. You can't miss this, especially if you want to get into business but don't know where to start. So the website again is FailureToFabulous.com. You want to check me out on Facebook? go to Nikita McDaniel or Failure to Fabulous Real Lifestyle Coaching. I want to thank you all for doing this webinar with me. We have finished up a half an hour early, so I didn't take a lot of your time. But as I stated, that the time that you spend with me will be valuable, and you will be able to use this information in your life now. If it's just to gauge where you are, and if you don't like where the gauge is leaning to, if it's leaning to the left, if it's leaning in the middle, you need to schedule a conversation with me. I want to talk to you. I won't be doing one-on-ones for 2016. All right? I want you to enjoy this beautiful day. You remember, it is your life. It is your move. It is your success. Be great at it. Bye-bye.